Someone cooked here.
Before we get into this, please everyone beware, there are spoilers out there. Someone chose to leak what happens in later episodes, and there was a whole thing over on Discord. They already said that they've taken everything they could down, but this is the internet, and once something is posted, that is it is out there forever. So please be aware of that, and where you guys hang out and what you look up in relation to the game before the game is spoiled for you. I will personally stop looking at their Discord unless it is for an announcement or something, but I have stopped checking other channels on their server just in case. The person responsible for the leaks will face some consequences, but still that doesn't mean much if the game is completely spoiled for you anyway. So please be aware and be mindful, as there are spoilers out there. But let's get back to the fact that the first 2 episodes of this batch are out, and all I can say is I'm so happy. The old Telltale magic is definitely back, and they've managed to be the #1 top seller on Steam on release, and the game is still holding up pretty well considering it's been days since its release, which is still a pretty respectable ranking considering the fact there's a Steam sale going on right now and new releases as well, which is another reason why their episodic release schedule makes more and more sense. Next week, when the next 2 episodes are released, the game will be relevant again, people will talk about it again, word will get out again, more people will buy it again, and it will go up the charts again, and it will be relevant again, and so on and so forth. And I'm glad that for once, episodic games are getting their episodes released in a timely manner with 0 delays and cancellations this time around. That's right, I'm looking right at you, Telltale. Now, as for the game itself, the intro reminded me of a time when I'd watch cartoons like Justice League on the Cartoon Network equivalent of my country, and it also reminded me of that warehouse fight between Big B and Bloody Mary in The Wolf Among Us. In fact, there were many things and scenes that reminded me of The Wolf Among Us, and you can definitely tell that the same talent has worked on both games, which is incredible, and they still have retained and even improved upon this incredible talent and magic of theirs. I also already have some theories about certain characters, but I want to wait for a couple more episodes to come out before I make up my mind on what exactly is going on with them, but they do still have the same knack for mystery and hiding things pretty well in my opinion. Having said that, many did say that the pacing seemed kind of off, and I kind of get it as well, to be honest, because things were moving way too fast. Like, we're fighting, then the mech suit gets destroyed, then you wake up months later and Blonde Blazer is there to ask you if you want to get a job with them, but then you're flirting for some reason, then bam, there's an option to kiss this stranger. Like, relax, I haven't even met the rest of the cast yet, you know? But then again, there are only 8 episodes in the game, so I get why they're trying to fit in as much story and character development as they can in each episode, so it makes sense. Plus, you have to feel connected to these characters as fast as possible in order for any kind of plot twist or big revelation to feel impactful, given the short amount of time the game has to, make you care about the story, its characters, because again, there are only 8 episodes, so the pacing kind of makes sense because they have to make you care about this as fast as possible before the game is over. QTEs were also discussed by many for being, this terrible, awful thing to happen to video games for some reason. I never got the hate for QTEs, to be honest. But as promised, you can turn them off and you can have more of a passive role during said events. But to be honest, like I said, I never got the hate for QTEs, especially when it comes to Telltale-like games. I mean, what do you guys do during those scenes? Like, just sit there and watch everything unfold with 0 participation? I don't know, it seems weird and kind of awkward to me, but I guess it's like a cutscene, so I kind of see it, I guess. But in any case, you can indeed do that if you want. You can turn it off and not have to be bothered by those. The voice acting is also incredible as well, because I know a lot of people had their reservations about some of the voice actors being YouTubers and streamers and stuff, but they're super talented and they did an incredible job here. And the humor is reminiscent of the older, less sanitized days of comedy and video games and stuff like that, so it's pretty enjoyable in that regard as well. So in general, the game knows what it is, and it is not afraid to go all out when it comes to its identity, which once again is super refreshing, especially today when all games are trying to please any and all audiences instead of focusing on what they do best and catering to their fan base instead of trying to please everyone. And I would recommend this patch to any and all old Telltale fans without a doubt. To be honest, I truly hadn't realized just how much I had missed Telltale-like games until I played this patch. In fact, I'm planning on doing another The Wolf Among Us playthrough just because this reminded me of the good old Telltale days. And hopefully, after this patch is done, we will get more news on The Wolf Among Us 2, possibly, maybe, please? So, if you have missed Telltale games, this is definitely a must-buy, especially now, since it's on sale and it's, I think, 10% off, so it is definitely worth it.